mean, Bowers Game Corner.
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, and today I'm very excited to check out snakes! Don't let them charm you into choosing the wrong answer. This for ages 12 plus, it's for 4 to 8 players, and it's from Big Potato Games. And if you don't know Big Potato Games, they have a niche that I really do enjoy, which is they feel partially like a mass market company, so you get a lot of their games at Target, Walmart stuff, but then they also have gamery elements, and they spread that, and then boom, they come up with these games that you can play with just about everybody. They're what I like to call chameleon games. They have enough gamery elements to appeal to gamers, while at the same time just being so simple, easy to learn, easy to teach. You teach in like 1 or 2 minutes, that they appeal to just about everybody. And this is no exception. This is a social deduction trivia game. And if you're familiar with Werewolf, it's going to feel a lot like that, where every single round, you're either going to be an ordinary human. An ordinary human's just trying to get a trivia question correct. A simple trivia question with only 3 answers, A, B, or C. You might also be the mongoose of truth. And every round, you're going to get a new role. This is a person who everyone knows is an ordinary human, and whatever they say, you know, it might be correct, it might be incorrect, because they might not know anything about the trivia question, but you know they're human. And then there's these oh-so-slippery snakes. And snakes are going to be tasked with trying to get everyone else to get the incorrect answer. A, B, or C, once again. So, how it works, everyone's, at the beginning of each round, everyone's going to put their head down, and then the moderator's going to talk, and no, this isn't like Werewolf, where someone has to be a specific moderator, which means they won't play the game. Everyone gets to play the game. Moderator's just going to say, hey, everybody put your head down, everybody close your eyes. Snakes, you can open your eyes, you can look at the back of this trivia question and see what the answer is, so all the snakes would know the answer is B. And then they put their head back down, and the moderator says, hey, put your head up. We got 2 minutes. We read the question out loud. We say, which book has sold more copies? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and To Kill a Mockingbird. And then everyone all of a sudden starts talking. They're like, oh, what could possibly be the answer? So somebody's like, oh, it's clearly To Kill a Mockingbird, because racist, you know, they used to burn that book. It used to be a big book burning thing, so people would buy that. And so it sold millions and millions of print runs, because people, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, no, it's a Very Hungry Caterpillar, because like literally, raise your hand if you've had that game. We've all had that book. We've all had that book. It's one of those popular books of all time. Oh no, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's changed billions of lives, and so they donated blah, blah, blah. And everybody's talking. Everybody's have these theories, because clearly no one at the table most likely is going to be like, oh yeah, it's this is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It sold 16.3 million copies. Don't you guys know that? Or somebody might pretend they do that, which is one of the funnest parts of this game. But most of the time, when you're speculating, you're just speculating, like on the trivia answers. Nobody knows. It's just like, oh, I think it's this because of this, which I really want to spotlight, because that's one of the best elements of this game right here. And so what happens is you have 2 minutes, and then everyone's going to secretly put in a tile. The snakes will just put in a snake tile, and then everyone else will put in their guesses, and you will find out that, boom, it was the Very Hungry Caterpillar, because obviously, raise your hand, post in the comments down below. Did you have it as a kid? We all did. It's massively popular. Eric Carl's a genius. He is. Yeah, he is. Hopefully he's not a racist. Fingers crossed. So, wow, that went off. Whoop, weeder in. So this is the review. You do that over the course of 6 rounds. So you only go over 6 trivia questions the whole time. But anywho, let's go to the pros and cons. So first on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. It is a very light, simple game. And people say, oh, you say that in like it's a negative way. But for some people it is. Like if you're a person who only likes like 2-hour, 3-hour-long games, this is probably not going to want to be for you. You're going to want something with a little bit more meat, a little bit more chunk. Also, one of the big cons I have of this game is there's not that many questions. Like, you know, there's like 80 here. But when you factor in, you only look at 6 a turn, 6 a game in theory, it shouldn't be an issue. But it's just one of those ones where if you know an answer, it feels disingenuous to not say it. And like, so if you have, I could see it, I don't know. I guess it really depends on how often you play your games. And so, you know what? If you're going to play this game like once or twice a year, maybe 3, 4, 5 times, you can completely ignore that con. I think the con that I just mentioned is only specific to people, a very small niche of people. Like if you're like a college student and you're like, yeah, we're going to play this game. Like then I can see that happening. But you could even make your own, really. I mean, it wouldn't be hard. But anywho, completely off the beaten path there. This is the pros and cons. Yeah, that's where we are. You got lost. So first on the con side. Yeah, that it is on the lighter side. Some people, if you don't like lying, you're kind of going to have to lie, but really, you don't necessarily. Like, on a turn, you could just not say anything. And you'd be like, I have no clue. Like, this is so, like, no idea whatsoever. Like, you can go that route, and that's a perfectly viable route, and that might actually be the truth. So the game doesn't force you to lie, but that, as I'm going to say in the pros, that's one of the biggest fun parts, I think. And yeah, it's just a trivia game. So you need to know that going in. But moving on to the pros, I think it's a very good game. The more I talk about this game, the more I'm leaning towards a great rating. You know what? Screw it. We're going great. I think this is a great game. Because if I give it an 8 or higher, that's where I call it great. And I do, because I see this being a game that I bring pretty routinely to places. Like, I think I could get my family to play this game, and my family, no. Like, that does not happen. But I think this is simple enough, and trivia, everybody loves trivia, to do that. But that's the other thing. The trivia is all over the place, so there could be an entire game where you just don't feel like you know anything. Which could be, it could not be fun. I also think, I think the game's skewed a little bit more balance-wise toward the snakes, but do you really care? I mean, like, do you? Moving on to the pros, though, I really enjoyed this game. I do apologize for my throat. And the big thing is what I just kind of talked about. It's just the fun of being a snake and knowing what the right answer is, and then your brain immediately has to say, go! You know, why is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People obviously the most popular book? You know, and that's so much part of the fun, is just trying to come up with that lie. Or trying to, like, see what your other snakes are doing. And then, like, maybe, so let's say the correct answer is B, and snake A is snake over here is pushing really hard for A, and you don't want to look like too much of a sheep and just go with snake. So you have the flexibility to say, oh, no, dude, think about C. C's obvious, the right choice, because Oprah Winfrey. Remember, Oprah Winfrey featured this for like a whole season, and people be like, really? And be like, yeah, I'm a big Oprah. Like, you can just pull stuff just out of anywhere, and that is the fun aspect of this game. And that's why, man, the more I talk about this game, the more I really do think I like this game a lot. This is creeping up to a very great game. Because I played it 3 times, and then I actually watched it being played 1 time, because we had the full player count of 12, which I guess didn't really matter. Well, yeah, it does, because, no, not 12, I think it's 8. Let me rephrase that. Yes, 8. 8. Yeah, it was 8 at the table. I took a video of it. You can check it on the Twitter. But that was a lot of fun, just watching them and seeing how different snakes did different things, and seeing, you know, it was really fun. And everyone at the table was really having fun. Like, even the people, because we had a curmudgeon or two who were like, this game is beneath me, who you could still tell were having fun. And I always find myself, my Thursday night game night is my hardcore game night, and I bring a lot of just the most random crap that I get sent. Because as a reviewer, sometimes you just get sent the most random crap. I get stuff that comes to my door. I've never contacted this person ever. How did you find my address? Like, I'm sure it's out there. But, and they're very skeptical. And whenever we play a game like this, I still always like to point out, like, hey, you're giving really strong emotions on this game. Like, you're laughing right now really hard. And they're like, we're laughing at the game. It's like, yeah, but this is like the 4th time you laughed at this game. Which, hey, it doesn't really matter why you're laughing. You're having fun with your friends. And this game won everybody over, I do believe. And I think it's a great game. I wish there were more cards. The moderating thing could be a bit clunky. You know, that could be a bit clunky. You're going to want the same person to do it every single time, which is a big responsibility for some people, I guess. But it is a little bit of a fragile game. If someone's a cheater, they're going to cheat. They can completely ruin that. But you can say that about Werewolf, and that's my second favorite game of all time. Maybe it goes back and forth. First, second, third. But anywho, this is a great game. I'm going to keep this game. This is going to be a game that I bring with me to social gatherings that are in that, you know, that general range of people. I enjoyed it at the lower player counts and both at the higher player counts. We had fun at both. So snakes, big potato games. I think it's going to be a big one. I think this is going to be a very popular game. And I think there's a good reason why. Because I do know it's going to be sold at Walmart. It's going to be sold at Target. It's going to be sold everywhere, which big ups to big potatoes. But I think this is the kind of game where if you play with your aunt she's going to buy it. Like, she's going to buy it, she's going to throw it in the closet, it's going to come out once every Thanksgiving, everyone's going to be like, damn, that's a fun game. And then, when Kiki brings, new boyfriend's going to be like, damn, that game was fun. And then he's going to tell his family about it, they're going to get it. And I feel like this game has that appeal. Like, I could see people playing this game. No, actually, you know what? I take that back. They'd have to do a different edition because there's a lot of pop culture stuff in here, which one of the cons, I should have mentioned it. Got the cons. These kind of games, they don't age as well. And especially when you're trying to play with younger people, that's the other thing. Because this is a great family game, but only if you're of a certain age, which, man, that does things down a little bit for me. That does. Because, I can't play this with my son right now. He'd have no clue. But it would be fun to watch him lie. But anywho, that is Snakes. Oh, I threw the box. If it looks like it might be a cup of tea, be sure to check that one out. If you enjoy what I'm doing, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below as I'm trying to reach 9,000 subscribers, celebrate my 9-year anniversary of making YouTube content. Also, consider supporting the Patreon. It's currently a stay-at-home dad. As always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye.